At those aerodromes where there is a significant number of general aviation movements, 4 basic types of signal are employed. These are the signal square, surface signals, signal mast, and light signals. Where provided, the signal square is 12 meters square and bounded by a white border, and is in such a position that it can be seen from all directions of approach. The absence of a signal square indicates that non-radio traffic is not permitted. The signals shown are as follows. A white T signifies that aircraft are to take off or land in a direction parallel to the shaft of the T, and towards the crossarm, unless otherwise instructed by air traffic control. A white T with a white disc adjacent to the crossarm means that the takeoff and landing directions do not necessarily coincide. A red and yellow striped arrow along the whole of 2 adjacent sides of the signal area and pointing in a clockwise direction signifies that a right-hand circuit is in force. A red panel with a yellow diagonal stripe signifies that the movement area is in a poor state, and pilots should exercise care when landing. A red panel with 2 yellow diagonal stripes in the form of a cross signifies that the aerodrome is unsafe for the movement of aircraft, and landing is prohibited. A white dumbbell indicates that movements of aircraft on the ground should be confined to paved, metalled, or similar hard surfaces. A black stripe across each disc of the white dumbbell at right angles to its shaft indicates that aircraft taking off or landing are using a runway, but movement on the ground is not confined to the hard surface. A red letter L displayed on the dumbbell signifies that light aircraft are permitted to take off or land either on a runway or on the area designated by a large white L. A double white cross shows that glider flying is in progress. A white letter H indicates that helicopters shall take off and land within the area designated by a large white H. The following signals may be displayed on various surfaces on an aerodrome. A large white H is displayed on an area reserved for the takeoff and landing of helicopters. A double white cross indicates an area reserved for the takeoff and landing of gliders. A black letter C on a yellow background on the control tower, administrative building, or flight plan office shows the reporting point for visiting pilots. Orange and white stripe markers are used to delineate the boundaries of the airfield. A panel of red and yellow squares on the control tower building indicates that aircraft may only taxi with air traffic control instructions. A large white L indicates an area, normally of grass, reserved for landing and taking off of light aircraft. A yellow marker in the shape of a St. George's cross marks an area reserved for the dropping of tow ropes, etc. A white St. Andrew's cross means that part of the runway up to the next standard marking is unfit for use. A St. Andrew's cross painted yellow means that part of a taxiway up to the next standard mark is unfit for use. A yellow board with 2 figures in black on it mounted on the control tower indicates the runway in use or the direction of takeoff and landing. Orange and white markers or flags are used to delineate parts of the airfield that are unfit for use. A black and white triangular box section marker placed on either side of the runway indicates a displaced threshold. A wind sleeve or windsock, usually orange, is placed adjacent to the runway and should be visible from each threshold and all approach directions. It shows wind speed and direction. A black ball suspended from the signal mast indicates that takeoff and landing directions may not be the same. 2 red balls, one above the other and suspended from the signal mast, show that glider flying is taking place. A rectangular green flag on the mast indicates that right-hand circuits are in force. Light and/or pyrotechnic signals are frequently used to pass information between air traffic control and an aircraft. Three colors are normally used. They are red, green, and white. A steady red light or a red flare to an aircraft from air traffic control means do not land, continue circling. A red flare from an aircraft to air traffic control means immediate assistance required. A steady red light to a vehicle from air traffic control means stop. A flashing red light to an aircraft from air traffic control means do not land, airfield closed. A flashing red light to a vehicle from air traffic control means move clear of landing area. A flashing green light to an aircraft from air traffic control means return to aerodrome and await landing clearance. A flashing green to a vehicle or aircraft on the ground from air traffic control means clear to move or taxi on the maneuvering area. A steady green light from air traffic control to an aircraft on the ground means cleared to take off. In the air, a steady green light from air traffic control means cleared to land. A steady or flashing green light or a green flare from an aircraft to air traffic control means at night, may I land. During daylight, a steady or a flashing green light or a green flare from an aircraft to air traffic control means may I land in a direction different to that indicated. A flashing white light to an aircraft from air traffic control means land here on receipt of steady green. A flashing white light to an aircraft on the ground or to a vehicle means return to starting point on the aerodrome. A white flare from an aircraft to air traffic control or irregular switching of navigation lights means I am compelled to land. To assist with the maneuvering of aircraft on the ground, a standard system of signals has been developed for use between an aircraft marshaller and the pilot. Right or left arm down and the other arm moved horizontally across the body to indicate the position of the next marshaller. Arms repeatedly moved upwards and backwards together, beckoning onward. Right arm down, left arm repeatedly moved upward and backward. The speed of movement indicates the rate of turn required. Left arm down, right arm repeatedly moved upward and backward. The speed of movement indicates the rate of turn required. Arms repeatedly crossed above the head. The speed of arm movement indicates the urgency of the stop. A circular motion of the right hand at head level, with the left hand pointing at the appropriate engine, or with the left hand held above the head and a number of fingers extended, indicating the engine to be started. Day only. Arms extended, the palms facing inwards, then swung from the extended position inwards. Arms down, the palms facing outwards, then swung outwards. Either arm and hand placed level with the chest, then moved laterally with the palm downwards. A throat-cutting movement. Arms placed with the palms towards the ground, then moved up and down several times. Arms placed down, with palms towards the ground, then either arm moved up and down several times. The engine on the same side as the moving arm is the one to be slowed. Arms placed above the head in a vertical position. The right arm raised at the elbow with the palm facing forward. Arm raised with fist clenched horizontally in front of the body. Then fingers extended. Day only. Arm raised with fingers extended horizontally in front of body. Then fist clenched. Day only. To assist with the maneuvering of aircraft on the ground, a standard system of signals has been developed for use between the pilot and the aircraft marshaller. Raise the arm horizontally with the fingers extended in front of the face, then clench the fist. Raise the arm with the fist clenched horizontally in front of the face, then extend the fingers. Arms extended with the palms facing outwards. Move the hands inwards to cross in front of the face. Hands crossed in front of the face, palms facing outwards. Then move the arms outwards. Raise the number of fingers on one hand, indicating the number of the engine to be started. For this purpose, engines shall be numbered sequentially from the port outer engine, which is number 1.